This week on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, extensive coverage of the 2017 Forestwood Cup from Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina. Vance McCullough has all the scoop from this big three-day event on the water and at the weigh-in. Joining him is 2015 Forestwood Cup champion Brad Knight, providing his unique point of view from one who's competed and won. The best anglers in the nation compete for the $300,000 grand prize. Plus product spotlights from Sportsman's Warehouse, Strike King Pro Tip of the Week, and Chris Brown talks technology in his Anglers Channel Insider. The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show starts right now. Hey, I'm John Byrne. Thanks for watching today. Since 1996, tournament bass fishing changed forever when Irwin Jacobs purchased a little-known bass tournament organization and named it after the founder of Ranger Boats, Forrest L. Wood. The FLW is the nation's largest bass fishing organization. Our own Vance McCullough is on the water in Columbia, South Carolina to wrap up the 2017 season at this year's Forestwood Cup.
Folks, welcome to a very special edition of the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up. We're here on Lake Murray for the 2017 Forestwood Cup. Joining me is 2015 Cup champion Brad Knight. He's going to share a lot of insight, take us around the lake, and follow all this action for the next 3 days. We're on early leader Brandon Cobb. It's early day one.
Yeah, it was really interesting. We just pulled up on him. He hit a spot, ran to another one, and we watched him catch one almost immediately on top water. So we made a move, followed somebody to the next cove, and while we were gone, listen to the fortune this guy had. Hooks a 2-pounder on his next stop on top water. That fish jumps off, winding his bait in, a 5-pounder eats it, and he catches that fish. So is that the good fortune that you always hear of having something good happen to you to win this tournament? Too early to say at this point, but man, things are looking good for Brandon Cobb. He's taking his time with it. Looks like it could be a good fish.
The old boat flip.
Here's the thing, that's a really, really good fish, and there's a lot of people in this tournament that would love to have it. I'm not so sure that's gonna help them. All right, here's kind of an example of what we're showing. We're kind of coming over this shallow point, sticking off. As you're coming up, you're gonna see small cane piles or brush piles put up with the herring or shad suspended above it. And what's happening, Brandon Cobb's pulling up on these points. He's making long casts with the top water. He's hooked up now, again, as we've seen all morning. And the bait present, these fish are corralling up, and it's a lot easier for these fish to attack the herring in 10 feet or 20 feet of water than it is the 40 feet. So less water, more active fish are pushing them up here where they can corral them up. Oh, it's a big largemouth, guys. He's taking his time going for the net. Oh goodness, these moments are what makes fishing so incredible. Your heart is beating out of your chest. It's a very intense situation right here. We're all in the net.
Boy, Justin.
Great largemouth. And we just pulled up, found Justin. He's been catching them this morning. Makes one stop, pulls up on about second cast, hooks up with a really big fish. He thought it was a striper at first, it was pulling so hard. Turns out it was a giant largemouth. After a quick battle on the back deck with the net, scooped him up, got him in the box. So great addition for Justin Atkins here on day number one.
I didn't fish a lot of these places. I just, graphed them and marked the ones that had fish and kind of made a mental note of which one seemed like they had the most. And I started on a place that had a ton of fish on it, caught 2 really good ones, and brought on to the next spot and caught another one, and I had a limit by my 4th stop. So, that kind of settled me in, and I've gotten really fortunate. I caught a couple 4-pounders in practice, but I almost called my shot on one of them today. I had a top that I felt like had a lot of big ones in it, and I went to it earlier and caught a 5-pounder, and felt like this one looked like it had some really good sized dots in it, and just caught a 5.5-pounder. So
Man got 20 pounds.
There's some locals that probably ain't gonna appreciate that, but
that'd be all right.
Justin Atkins is hooked up again, Brad.
It's been a topwater clinic this morning between Brandon Cobb and Justin Atkins. Man, it's been fun to watch for us, I can assure you that. Not gonna help them though, but I can guarantee you this, there's a lot of people in this tournament right now that would do a lot of things to have that bass in their boat.
Yes, they would. Well, Brad, here we are. We followed the guys around on the water this morning. A lot of action on the water. We're fixing to have a lot of action on the stage. They're got the bags right here and chilling in the juice, keeping the fish fresh. We're about to see some freaks hit the stage.
I think we're going to see some amazing catches, especially for August.
We're going to continue to use our all-access VIP pass and bring y'all some more behind-the-scenes stuff. Stay with us.
The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, sponsored by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time, by Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures, and by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
I'm freezing.
Well, I told you to bring a warmer jacket.
When?
Every day since you could walk. Now I just say it with my eyes, like...
Folks, Park Ranger Mark,
Sup, bro? Hey, Forest Cop.
you're taking up a lot of space. I'm gonna need you to move a vehicle.
Todd, load the four-wheeler into the truck.
That's like bundling, because Progressive can bundle your boat, ATV, and RV with your truck to save you money. Don't talk to her. She has rabies.
Rabies was created by the government. Look it up. Who are you people?
Yay, Grandpa's still alive.
I don't want to buy any cookies, little girl.
From bass and walleye to crappie and the great outdoors, no one has ever built aluminum boats like these from Ranger. They're packed with standard features. The ride is super smooth, they're whisper quiet and incredibly stable. Check out the difference in quality, performance, and room in a Ranger aluminum design. America's fastest growing aluminum line. No matter what you're after on the water, these rigs are engineered to excel and priced to be yours.
Every time we go fishing, you know we got to tie one on.
In all honesty, when do I not tie one on?
Every time I go on the water, I love to tie one on. Every day of the week, I like to tie one on.
You may not know this about me, but every once in a while, I've been known to tie one on.
Come on, man. Join the Stray King team. All you got to do, tie one on.
I think I always tie one on.
It's about bass fishing and bass fishing tournaments. From the grassroots weekend angler to the pro-am and professional events, it's all on anglerschannel.com. Anglers Channel is your source for tournament news and results from across the country. Gear and equipment reviews, lake guides, pro tips, product highlights, and more. anglerschannel.com. Find out the latest patterns and strategies that are working on your home lake and across the country. Bookmark anglerschannel.com and be connected to the source for all things bass.
Hey, not all boaters are the same. Bass fishermen have specific demands we place on our equipment. Not all boat insurance is the same. Progressive offers customizable coverages to suit your lifestyle and the way you use your boat. No depreciation on repairs is included on all Progressive boat policies at no additional cost to you. This means your boat will be restored to its pre-accident condition or better. With Progressive, all small claims of $500 or less are forgiven. Small claims will not count against you, and they won't charge you more because you have one or more. Perpetual agreed value is a great way to protect yourself from depreciation. If you have a total loss, you'll receive the agreed value of your boat, an amount you and Progressive previously agreed upon, for as long as you own your boat. Remember, not all boat insurance is the same, and the folks at Progressive get it, and they're working to tailor coverages to suit our bass fishing lifestyle.
Wrapping up day one coverage of the Forest Wood Cup from Lake Murray saw some huge sacks come across the stage. It was anyone's game, but as Vance and Brad showed us, Brandon Cobb weighed in his catch of 1912, good for a third place finish.
I started running some new areas because I caught almost all my fish in one general 5-mile stretch. Pretty much a section of lake, and I had some other places, up lake, middle lake, and I kind of wanted to go see if they were as good as that, and I don't think they are, so I know a little better to stay in that area tomorrow. And I might should have tried to catch them a little better. Talking to some guys, I think the weights were a little bigger than I anticipated, so I laid off them a little bit because I caught 10 in a row that didn't cull.
Last year's Cup winner, Anthony Gagliardi, weighed in a nice 21.1-pound sack to secure a second place finish.
It's kind of crazy, to I think back to all the lakes that we fished over the course of the year, and the biggest bag that I caught all year was here in August. I mean, you never would have convinced me that would have happened, at any time during the year. And Even yesterday, I mean, I didn't think that I had the capability to catch a bag like that. I did catch one really big one and 4 really, really solid fish.
But as you saw on the water, Alabama's Justin Atkins took the day with a 21.5-pound sack of Lake Murray bass.
Justin Atkins, just watch it drop 21 pounds, 5 ounces on that scale right there. Is it safe to say that today is a career-defining moment for you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If I can do it 2 more days, that'll be a career solidifying moment. So we're just gonna catch what bites and worry about the rest when it's all done.
Travis Fox and Angler of the Year Brian Thrift round out 4th and 5th on day 1. Let's get back to the action on day 2 as we go on the water with our own Vance McCullough and former FLW champion Brad Knight.
Brad, so far this morning on day 2, it's been a little bit slower for the front runners than it was yesterday. Brandon Cobb put on a flurry, doesn't quite have the size he had. Justin Atkins is struggling just to fill out that limit so far.
Yeah, and what we heard him say just now was with the sun and the spectator traffic, a lot more waves. Him and Brandon are swapping areas, but what's happening is stirring the water up, and it's actually helping the fish school on bait more. And what's happening is they're targeting the submerged piles that we've been talking about. It's bringing those fish out of the piles and schooling on the bait more. So it's easier for the fish to get out and roam, and it's harder for the angler to be able to pinpoint and make those accurate casts to be able to call them up as he's talking about. We'll see how these guys adjust to the different conditions that they had yesterday.
We'll have more from day 2 at this year's Forest Wood Cup, but up next, it's our Strike King Pro Tip of the Week.
Everybody, Cody Meyer here, and being from California, Strike King, had a big influence on some of the baits I fished this year. And why is we came out with some really cool new colors in the hard bait and some of the soft plastic lineup. Something like this, it's a Delta Craw color. A lot of those California reservoirs, that fish want a red craw bait, and Strike King didn't have certain colors like this for years. So now we have these baits, in the red eye shad, the 2-tap, the 1.5, 2.5s, all the way down to the 10XD. And again, some of those lakes, they require a red craw crankbait, and Strike King now has it.
When it comes to bass fishing, there's one site you can count on for tournaments, results, gear reviews, lake news, angler profiles, and opinion. That's anglerschannel.com. Here's Anglers Channel's Chris Brown with this week's Anglers Channel Insider.
Hey guys, Chris Brown back with this week's Anglers Channel Insider. I'm not in my office, I'm out here on the water. We're at the 2017 FLW Cup. We've been following anglers around this morning, bringing you all this awesome coverage for the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show. But the cool thing about it is we talk about the website, we talk about things you can do sitting in the comforts of your home or at your desktop computer. But guys, look, I got my cell phone, we got my iPad, we're here on Lake Murray. I'm kind of getting the itch to go fishing again. I know it's hotter than blue blazes, but ready to go fishing again on Lake Murray. I don't know a whole lot about this lake, but guess what? I went to the Lakes tab at anglerschannel.com. I pulled up Lake Murray. I've got a complete navionics map of this entire lake. I can see things that I couldn't see before. If I've got it in my graph, great. Otherwise, I've got it right here on my iPad. Plus, I've got all of the marinas, boat ramps. I've even got the Sportsman's Warehouse store in Columbia. I've even got all the articles, all the results from this tournament, plus anything else that's happened on Murray in the past couple of years. So all the information you need to make you a better tournament angler, to help you catch more fish right here, anglerschannel.com. Guys, check it out, your tournament resource destination.
Still to come on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, Brian Thrift brings us the latest in the Sportsman's Warehouse product spotlight. And we continue our coverage of day 2 of the 2017 Forest Wood Cup from Lake Murray. Stay with us.
The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by Stratos Boats, by Costa Sunglasses, and by AnglersChannel.com. Stay with us. There's plenty more straight ahead.
Dale? Dale! Oh, hey, Rob. What's with the minivan? That's not mine. I don't...
Dale, honey, is your tummy still hurting, or are you feeling better to ride in the front seat? Oh, is this one of your motorcycling friends?
Hey, chin up there, Dale. Lots of bikers also drive cars. In fact, you can save big if you bundle them both with Progressive.
I'd like that.
Great. Ooh, you've got soft hands.
He uses my moisturizer.
See you, Dale. Bye, Rob.
Well, they tell me that I just made history. I was blessed to win 2 tournaments back-to-back on the FLW Tour, something that's never been done before in its 20-year existence. A lot of the baits that I used to win these 2 tournaments were right out of the package, no custom design. The same package that you can get at your local tackle store. You know, if an old country boy like me can do it, you can too. Get you a sack full of Strike King lures. Make your own history.
There's a huge low-pressure system centered over the state, going to continue to whip our area with rain, sleet, high wind. There are already multiple weather-related accidents on the freeway. You'd have to be a hardcore duck hunter to go out in this weather. Take it easy this morning, heading downtown.
The Browning A5. Come hell or high water.
Available at Sportsman's Warehouse and sportsmanswarehouse.com.
From bass and walleye to crappie and the great outdoors, no one has ever built aluminum boats like these from Ranger. They're packed with standard features. The ride is super smooth, they're whisper quiet and incredibly stable. Check out the difference in quality, performance, and room in a Ranger aluminum design. America's fastest growing aluminum line. No matter what you're after on the water, these rigs are engineered to excel and priced to be yours.
America's premier outfitter, Sportsman's Warehouse, should be your first stop when it comes to the latest gear for you, the serious bass angler. That's why we are proud to bring you the Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight, featuring the latest gear for your tackle box. Here's Angler of the Year and Sportsman's Warehouse Pro, Brian Thrift.
This week's Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight is a TH Marine prop wrench. Everybody wonders, why would you do a spotlight on this? This is a great emergency tool that could get you back on the water or get you back to the ramp safely. If you're out on the lake, you spin a hub on a prop, run over a shoal, damage your prop, you've got a spare prop, you can grab this up, have a quick change, and be back on your way to where you're going or get back to the landing in an emergency situation. You can find these at Sportsman's Warehouse or sportsmanswarehouse.com.
Now let's get back to Vance and Brad on the water for day 2 of the Forest Wood Cup.
Folks, it's a change of scenery here. Brad, we spent most of our time the first day and a half down on the big main lake watching the guys fish deep. We're up the river now.
Yeah, it was clear water down there, and we followed 2017 Angler of the Year Brian Thrift. He's made a long run up the river to the back end of the creek. We've got a lot dirtier water now. The sun's getting pretty bright, so that might be the adjustment he needs to spark himself into having a big catch. It's all about making the changes and keeping up with the current conditions with the weather. So one interesting note is we're not on the bank. It's kind of fishing out off the bank, probably fishing submerged brush piles, maybe logs. And the water has been continually falling all throughout practice. So I would feel like if it was me, that would be the perfect target to do. Not being on the bank, that wasn't a productive pattern for guys yesterday. All the fish kind of sucking out onto isolated cover out off the bank, out on flats. That's a tactic I used to win a couple of years ago. Pretty much this time of the year, that's a pretty standard tactic, good technique to catch a few big ones.
Safe to say he's kind of fishing the deepest water in the shallowest area, sort of a mindset there?
Absolutely. You're looking for those transition fish that have been all along the bank, all these miles of shoreline, that are going to get sucked into one area where you can make isolated casts.
The pressure is on as day 2 weigh-in begins at Colonial Life Arena in downtown Columbia. The field will be narrowed to the top 10 finishers, who in turn will fish Sunday for the title and the $300,000 first place prize.
Brian Thrift, having a good tournament so far. How did day 2 go for you?
It went fair, I guess. Not great. I think I got about 12 and a half, 13 pounds, so be enough to fish Sunday, but I might have a big hole to climb out of.
I mean, it was decent. It wasn't anything like yesterday. It's kind of crazy when you're disappointed after catching 15 pounds on Lake Murray in August, but that's about what I got. I got right at 15 pounds.
You know, these fish definitely act different, whether it's cloudy or whether it's sunny. During practice, it was cloudy every morning except for the first one, and that first morning I just idled. I never made a cast. And so I wasn't prepared this morning when I showed up to my first couple spots. The fish were acting different, and it took me several stops, and I wasted about an hour before I kind of got it figured out. And when the bite's only lasting 3 hours, an hour of that's a big deal. So I think in the morning, whether it's sunny or whether it's cloudy, I'll be prepared for the deal and I'll be ready for it.
Brian Thrift weighed in a nice day 2 limit, weighing 14.9, securing 5th place for day 2. Travis Fox took over 4th place with a 16-13 sack, giving him 35 pounds even for a 2-day total. And Anthony Gagliardi weighed in a limit for day 2 at 15 pounds even. Our day 1 leader, Justin Atkins, dropped to 2nd with a 15-14 sack, but it was Brandon Cobb who took day 2.
19 pounds, 4 ounces, you got the lead!
The top 10 take Lake Murray for the final day of competition at the 2017 Forest Wood Cup on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This portion of the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show is brought to you by Navionics, by Carhartt Outdoor Wear, and by TH Marine.
Welcome back, everyone. The top 10 are ready to blast off for the final day on Lake Murray. And the question is, who's going to take home that $300,000 grand prize and add the cup to their resume? Let's join Vance McCullough and 2015 Cup champion Brad Knight for day 3 of the Forest Wood Cup.
Folks, welcome to day 3. Usually day 4 is the final morning. Day 3 is the final morning today. With all the final morning excitement, we're about to blast off across Lake Murray. Brad, what are we going to see today?
Well, I think what you're going to see is the same conditions that we were faced with yesterday. We got some bright skies, not much clouds, not much wind. So, in my opinion, I think this tournament will be over by 11 o'clock this morning. It'll already be decided by that point. It's going to have to make hay early. You know, there's just something special about these championship final day mornings. The excitement, the buzz is in the air. You can feel the intensity. I'm ready to get out there and see what these guys are going to do first thing this morning.
Let's chase them, man. Brad, we just pulled up on Justin Atkins. He's had a really big morning so far, literally big.
Oh yeah, he's got 2 great big ones in the live. We just caught one about 6 pounds, so just pulled up on him to see what if he can finish his limit out and catch another good one, make some separation for himself.
Good strike, good topwater strike right there.
That was awesome.
Sets up on him.
We saw the fish miss the bait. He immediately reaches down, grabs another rod. I'm gonna presume maybe a smaller topwater lure. First cast in. Oh, good fish for Justin. Wow. Wow, fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. That was impressive. Well, Brandon Cobb was struggling early this morning, had hit 8 or 10 places and not had a bite yet. We noticed Brian Thrift had made a big move up the leaderboard. I think he would come from 5th or 6th place and took the unofficial lead. And Justin Atkins, who was in 2nd yesterday, caught one, we estimated about 4 pounds, and then hooked one about 5 or 6, he thought. Comes off, ends up biting it again and catching it. And it's all about having something good happen to you out on the water on the final day. And that's absolutely what's happening to Justin.
You could say it was a party atmosphere with fellow anglers, fans, and family members packing Colonial Life Arena for the final day's weigh-in. Shelby's Brian Thrift weighed in a nice 5 bass limit for 18 pounds 2 ounces, securing a solid 4th place finish. Prior champion Anthony Gagliardi came in just behind Brian to finish 5th with a 15.2 ounce limit for the day. Travis Fox had a superior day, bringing in a 21-11 limit for day 3. And like that's not impressive enough, 2nd place Justin Atkins, who we just saw burn it up on day 3, came to the stage.
Justin
congratulations to Justin Atkins, our 2017 Forest Wood Cup champion. And a special thanks to Vance McCullough and Brad Knight for all their great coverage on the water the past 3 days. Folks, that's it. We gotta go. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.